Next up, we've got a question from Restore Sanity Fear.
Restore.
I don't know. Yeah, that's his
Fear.
username. The question is, what would you say? This is a spicy one a little bit. What would you say to someone currently in a permanent life insurance sales position?
Hold on. Okay, so
Bo's mad at me now.
I want to be clear.
Just so you know, Daniel said this was a good question.
All right. Let me make sure I want to make sure I have my context right. This person is a permanent life insurance salesman, or they are being sold to. Daniel, you got to tell me which one of these I'm answering. Salesman. This is a person selling permanent life insurance.
This leads me to believe that maybe they think they should not be in this role.
Well, first of all,
so what would you say?
Let me be clear. And look, Brian's not here. He can't defend himself. I'm going to say this. We do not suggest that permanent life insurance is evil and that it's awful and that it's the worst financial product out there and there is no need for it. That's not the case. A number of times throughout the planning that Brian and I have done in our careers, we have indeed needed to recommend permanent life insurance for someone. Their situation has been such that permanent insurance was the necessary solution. However, that is, in my experience, the exception, not the rule. Way more term folks out there than permanent folks. So if you are a permanent insurance salesman, what I would encourage you to do is make sure that you are selling it to the right person. That not just so long as someone has a pulse, they need permanent life insurance, you make sure that the people you're selling it to actually, and look, I'm recovered, right? I'm someone who's come out of this. When I was in college, worked for a large insurance company on the sales side. Don't be. It's okay. I got great experience, Siri. I worked for a large insurance company, and this is what I did. I drank the Kool-Aid. And I reckon, you know what? Someone had a problem. Whole life insurance is the answer. Oh, you're a 23-year-old waitress who also waits at the same restaurant as I do, and you have a financial question on build wealth. Oh, permanent life insurance is the answer. Whole life insurance is the answer. Whole life. When you are a hammer, everything looks like a nail. You need to be careful to make sure that if you are selling this kind of product and you're working in this kind of world, make sure that the people you're recommending it to actually need it. Well, if you find, in the circles that I don't work with a lot of the ultra high net worth. I don't work with a lot of people with illiquid assets. I don't work with a lot of people that have big real estate holdings. I just work with like everyday folks who need life insurance. I would argue that maybe you could think about a career shift that maybe you start selling term life insurance instead of permanent life insurance. If you find yourself sitting across from the table and you're selling a product that other people don't need, and maybe you're effective at selling it, you got to do your own soul searching. I had to do my own soul searching because look, I'm ashamed to admit this, but I'm gonna this is a safe place.
I told you this was spicy.
It's just me and you here, Reby. I sold some life insurance early on in my career to people that didn't need it, right? If I would have told that young lady, hey, instead of giving me $100 a month to buy whole life insurance that you don't really need because you're not married, no kids, no issues, don't need it, and I would have just told her to go open up a Roth IRA and put $100 a month into Roth IRA, gosh, she'd have been so much better off. I would have done so much better work. Now, I wouldn't have made as much money. I made a great commission when I was selling that stuff, right? But it wasn't what was best for her. I was not operating in a fiduciary capacity, recommending her best interest. So if you're going to be on that side of the industry, if you're going to do that sort of thing, just make sure that you're doing it appropriately, that you're doing it for the folks that actually need it. And if you find yourself in a place where you don't have folks that actually need it, think about, okay, maybe I need to sell term insurance, or maybe I don't want to sell insurance. Maybe I want to do financial planning. Maybe I want to find a great fee-only financial planning firm, and I want to go to aboundwealth.com/careers, and I want to check out job opportunities that might be available. I think that's a great solution and a great option also. There's nothing wrong with doing it. There's nothing wrong with being commissioned. There's nothing wrong with selling permanent insurance, so long as you're selling it to the right people for the right reasons.